Good morning. Today is Saturday and it is day 23 of Vlogmas, and as promised I am going to do a little last minute tutorial. So if you are lucky enough to have the whole day to sew today, you could probably make 100 of these, and if you are in a rush just to make a last minute present, then this is definitely the tutorial for you. But before we get on to that, I have something to do. I'm going to open day 23 of my Beyond the Pink Door Advent calendar, and there is only one gift, and it is number 25 after this one. And I am not going to be vlogging on Christmas Day. So tomorrow, what I think I might do is I might open it tomorrow, but I will put it at the very end of my Christmas Eve video, so that if you don't want to see it, I will kind of put up a spoiler alert so you don't have to see it. But if you are interested in seeing what's in the advent calendar, then you get to see, and I hope that's okay. And if you think that's not a good idea, then please comment that that's not a good idea, because I don't want to upset anybody. That is the last thing that I want to do at Christmas time. So number 23. How are you all doing? Are you all ready? I'm kind of ready. It's just one of those things. Christmas is going to happen whether I'm ready or not, so I'm just winging it. That's how I'm dealing with it. So. Ooh! I was really hoping I was going to get some sewing labels, and these are beautiful. So little rosy cheek sewing labels, and they say the bee's knees, the cat's, I'm assuming that's whiskers. I'm not quite sure what else it would be. I'm going to just rip them open so I can see, so I can show you, and so I can see them. So just two types. Yeah, the cat's whiskers. See that? The cat's whiskers. And the bee's knees. Oh, and there's a kind of a different type you can sew in. Fabulous. They are lovely. How beautiful. I wonder if Andrea's had those specially made for us, because I haven't seen those. We stock little rosy cheeks at the shop, and I haven't seen those. They haven't come in on email or anything, and I haven't seen them. So I think they might be just for the advent calendar, which, if they are, how very special. So yes, so I thought that we'd just spend a little bit of Saturday doing a tutorial for a last minute gift. It is something that's really, really simple. You only need 2 fat quarters, but to be honest, you could just make it with scraps of fabric that you have hanging around. So all you need is 2 fat quarters and your sewing machine threaded up. I've just threaded my machine up with some variegated thread, because I want to make quite a few, and if I do variegated thread, it doesn't really matter about matching thread. And again, you don't need to worry about being too accurate with this tutorial, because so it's great for any kind of level of sewer, and you can add to it and titivate it as much as you like to make it as personalised as you like, but equally you can just keep it simple. So I know you want, like, come on Sam, what are we making? So we're going to make some fabric trays. Now I get asked, particularly my husband, believe it or not, asked me to make these for him fairly frequently. He loves these fabric trays. He uses them in his desk in the office. He uses them on his bedside table to put bits and pieces in. Yeah, he really, really likes them, and he has asked for some for Christmas. But yeah, so basically they're just little fabric trays, and out of 2 fat quarters you can get 3, so you can do them as a set, but as I said, you can just do 1 if you want to. if you want to, you can interface them. So if you have got a bit of scrap interfacing, that does kind of make them stand up a little bit better. But again, I'm not going to use any interfacing today to show you how quick and simple and easy they are. So the measurements that I'm using for these are just squares. This one is a 7-inch square. This one is a 9-inch square, and this one is 11-inch square, and you'll get all of those squares out of a fat quarter. So I have got 7-inch square, 9-inch square, 11-inch square, and obviously you need 2 of each. So I've got this lovely navy blue starry fabric and this lovely white and gold starry fabric. Had to be stars, didn't it? So all you need to do is put them right size together and clip and pin around the edges, and we're going to sew all the way around the edge, but we're just going to leave a gap in the middle of one of the sides. It doesn't matter which side you leave it in, but it does need to be in the middle of one of the sides. So not around the edge. It needs to be in the middle, and you'll see why when we get on to the next step. So to show you how quick and easy this is, I am actually doing this video all in real time today, so you can see exactly how quick it is. So I'm not going to speed anything up. You're just going to see it as it happens. So I'm going to pop you down. There we go. And turn my sewing machine on. It always helps if you turn it on, I find. And then I've set my sewing machine to a stitch length of 2.4, and I've got my foot of my machine foot on the edge of my fabric, and I'm just going to start with a locking stitch. I have that on my machine, but you can just sew backwards if you want to. And then I'm just going to sew all the way to the corner, and then stop and pivot, keeping the edge of my foot on the edge of the fabric. That way I know I've got exactly the same seam all the way around. To the other corner, turn it round. To the other corner, turn it, oh, one more stitch I think. There we go. To the last corner. And then this is where I'm going to leave a gap, so I'm going to go down to the middle, and then I'm going to use the locking stitch again on my machine, and there you have it. So you can see I've sewed all the way around, but I've left a gap in the middle. So there you go, simple as. So all you need to do now is you need to mark on the corners. So you can do this 2 ways. You can mark an inch down on each line and then draw a line, or you can do what I did, and I've actually all marked it on a piece of card. So what I did, I marked an inch into there and an inch into there, and I've cut the corner off. And that, if you are going to make a few of these, then you've already got your template. So you want to line it up. Now you don't want to line it on the edge of your fabric, you want to line it on the edge of your stitching line. So line it along like this, and then mark it with a marker. I've got some white chalk, and I'm really hoping that you're going to be able to see it, but you might not be able to. So can you see where I've marked that there? And then I'm going to sew along there, and you need to mark on each one. So I'm going to mark those on. Unfortunately, I only have one camera stand, so I can only have one kind of thing going on at the same time. I haven't got an over the table stand, so I can't show you what I'm doing, which is a little bit disappointing. I could if I kind of edited it all together, but I thought today would just be nice to have a little quick sew along. And actually you can even sew along with me in real time if you wanted to. And if you do, can you let me know? If you do sew in real time and you sew along with me, let me know in the comments, because I like the idea that someone's sewing along at the same time. I'm going to remark my first one because doing it on the table has given me much better lines, so I can show you now. So there's my lines all marked. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew along those lines on the sewing machine. So there we go. Do you want to see? I'm going to sew across these lines. I love the automatic cutting feature on my sewing machine, I have to say. Since I've had that, it does save me an awful lot of time. The automatic locking stitch is good as well, and the automatic cutting feature is very good. Saves a lot of thread as well. I hadn't realised that it would do that. As well as being quick and easy, it does actually save quite a lot of thread. So I marked 1, 2, 3, 4 corners, 4 candles, 4 corners. Hello again. Oh, I've managed to, sorry. There we go. I've sewn those, and now I'm going to chop off those corners. So I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch. Just need to cut that one. So I've cut them all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold over this edge where the gap is, because I find that if I do that, I normally give it a press with the iron, but if I fold it over and give it a little press, when I turn it all through the other way, when we have to sew it together and top stitch the top, you just get a neater finish. So I'll just fold that over, and then we're ready to turn through. So turn that through, and you might want to get something to help you poke out those edges, those corners. Well, they're not corners because you cut the corners off, but you know what I mean. I know what I mean. So yeah. So if this is a last minute gift, you could always pop a few chocolates in with it to make a nice gift. If it's for a sewing buddy, you could put some clips or pins in it, so show what you could use it for. Use it for anything really. If you wanted to make a little bit of handmade jewellery to pop in it. So there you go. Again, if I wasn't doing this super quick, I would give that a really good press. And then what you need to do is we're going to top stitch all the way around, but for top stitching I'm going to make my stitch length a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to pop this back into my sewing machine. I'm going to make my stitch length 3.5, which is what I like for top stitching. And then I'm just going to run all the way around the edge, and this way this will close your gap as well. I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch in, so I'm just going to show you where I am on my machine. There we go. So I'm just going 1/8 of an inch in, pivoting all those corners. I love this variegated thread up against this navy. It's a gold Gutermann variegated thread, if anyone's interested, and it goes really nice with this navy blue. Hello. I'm sorry for all the camera moving. I know that's a bit annoying when you're watching. But I did just want this to be a quick one today. So there you are. So all we need to do now is decide which side you want to be the outside. So I think it will be quite nice if this is in the black stars is in the inside and that's on the outside, but I can always alternate it for the different ones. So what you need to do is you need to fold it in towards the inside, and you fold it together, but you've already made that cut, so it should just fit, and then pop a clip on there. And you're going to do that for all of them, all of the corners. Put a clip on there. Obviously you can pin or clip. I find that for this, clips are just so much easier. And then there you have it. So basically that is your tray. But what you need to do is you need to go back over your stitches, and you're just going to sew along each of those corners to secure it. I'm just going to go over my stitches on the sewing machine, but I'm going to make my stitch length back to 2.6 again. So, yes, I'm not going to push you down. I'm just going to try and sew and talk at the same time. Now, you've already got your stitches to show you where you're going to stitch. So just go over those stitches, and this time I am going to go backwards and then go over them again, because I do find that you get a slightly better finish if you go over it a couple of times. But you will need to trim off all of the excess threads. So it's just like that, and we're going to do that on all 4 corners, and then we're done. So it really is, I said it was a quick project, and it really is a quick project. So it really doesn't take any time at all. Now if you wanted to, you could put little charms, little buttons, beads, hand sew them onto the corners. You could make a really big one and have it for putting your napkins in for Christmas Day, which is quite nice. You could make a really, really little one for putting little keepsakes, mementos in. I don't know, maybe make a really tiny one for little ones that are about to lose a tooth, for the tooth fairy. Don't know, is that what you do these days? I don't know. It's been a long time since any of my children have lost teeth. So there we go. You know you finish when you run out of clips. So then what you want to do is give it a little press, and then that will help it stand up. So can you see? And then there you have it. Little tray. So I'm going to carry on making the rest of those. So I've got a set of 3, because I think a set of 3 is nice. And as I said, this one is a little bit floppier. If you did want one that was stood a bit tall and stood a bit proud, then you can always put a little bit of interfacing inside. But yeah, there you have a very quick and easy gift for Christmas, a fabric tray. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my little Saturday tutorial, and I hope your Christmas preparations are going really, really well. Just remember, take a moment for yourself. It's one day. If things don't get done, that's okay. It's okay. It's one day. Take care. Don't forget to sparkle. I'll see you really soon. In fact, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.